So I'm gonna try not to take too long because I really want to turn my air conditioner back on because it's so hot. Um, this is partially about the peppers. If you saw, and I'll try to link them down in the description. I did 3 videos where I ate dried peppers. One was a ghost pepper, one was a scorpion pepper, and one was a Carolina Reaper. Next goal is to actually try to grow these peppers out in my garden. Yes, I know. The fat chick actually gardens. I grow my own vegetables. Well, sometimes. Um, you can't grow enough in your garden to feed everybody. All right. You have to buy from the supermarket. But I like to grow my own vegetables when I can. So I took one of each pepper and I cut them open and I planted the seeds inside. Um, so that's the next goal is to try to grow them. And maybe I'll try them fresh if I succeed in growing them. But the dried peppers really had some gnarly side effects. Um, the ghost pepper, I would say about half the day, my tongue and everything was tingling and burning. Definitely had certain side effects that I'm not going to talk about because they're gross, you know. But by evening, it was kind of gone. Later in the night because I did it in the evening when I ate it, like immediately after work, and then the scorpion pepper. Within a half hour of finishing that video, I was sweating profusely, and my stomach was on fire, and I mean, it just burned all up and down in here, and that's even with taking antacids both before and after. All right. Um, Oddly enough, I drank a Sprite, and that all went away. And again, by that night, the other side effects were just kind of gone. The one that had the lasting effect was the Carolina Reaper. That one went into the next day. I would say it was probably early afternoon before I finally fully recovered from that. So, yeah, I don't recommend this. Um, you know, for one thing, it's one thing to try them in a salsa or a hot sauce because you've got other things mixed in with it that gives it a little more flavor. You've got tomatoes and garlic and onion and cilantro and parsley, all mixed in there, and therefore you get all these flavors along with the heat. When you eat just the pepper, it's just the heat. You don't really get this mouth-watering burst of flavor. You get a, oh my god, my mouth is on fire. Yeah. So yeah, definitely don't recommend it. Doesn't mean I won't do it again. Because I've got other peppers that I'm growing in my garden. So when I have some ripe ones, I might try them on camera. They're not ones that are supposed to be as hot as like the Carolina Reaper. There's like one that's called like, I think, cowboy or cowhorn cayenne, and then there's a hot Thai pepper. You know, so we'll see. But there was something else that happened, and kind of hard to talk about because I know because I'm fat, there are people who won't believe that this happened. All right. Um, but I'm sorry, just because I'm fat doesn't mean this sort of thing doesn't happen to me on occasion. I had a guy contact me on Facebook. I'm not going to say his name. I've, you know, he was somebody that originally commented on the ghost pepper video. His comment, at least from as far as I know, should not be there because I ended up blocking him on YouTube and blocking him on Facebook. I accepted his message at first because I thought maybe he works for a hot sauce company, right? I was wrong. He was a guy seeking a relationship, and he would not call me by name. And it made me really uncomfortable. He kept calling me beautiful and gorgeous, beautiful and gorgeous. And I don't care if it sounds like overreacting. When somebody won't call me by name and keeps insisting on using those terms, it triggers my fight or flight response. He made me very uncomfortable and very nervous. And I was polite to him, simply because I was afraid he would retaliate. Because you've seen it with other women who post their private messages and instant messages and stuff where they reject a guy and all of a sudden he's calling her all sorts of names and he's stalking her online and he's threatening to hack her account and stuff. So yeah, that made me, I was trying very calmly, but he just made me severely uncomfortable. My name's right there. It's spelled out for you. Call me Jamie. Don't sit there and call me beautiful and gorgeous and claim that you want just a friendship. All right? Maybe, and I doubt this would have worked, maybe I should have told him I was asexual. Maybe that would have scared him off. I think it's more likely he would have said, well, you just haven't met the right man yet. And that's not the way sexuality works, okay? You can't change somebody's sexuality. And all asexual means is I just simply don't feel sexual attraction much, if at all. I would probably fit the definition of a gray ace more than anything. Yeah, do I find some people attractive? Sure. Doesn't mean I want to sleep with them because I'm not, I can recognize physical beauty. Of course, my own tastes are probably unique to others. I thought, when he was alive, that Jeremy Brett was one of the most handsome men on earth. Frank Gorshin as the Riddler, Leonard Nimoy as Mr. Spock. So that kind of gives you an idea. In first grade, LeVar Burton on Reading Rainbow, just loved him. But, just that doesn't, just because I might go on about Rufus Sewell and his magic soul stealing eyes does not mean I'm actually sexually attracted to him. It just means I can see that he is a handsome man. Alex Kingston, Dr. Rivers' Song, gorgeous woman. Still nothing there. Nothing there. If I were to be honest, yeah, there's fictional characters that, no, I don't want to sleep with them. But there's fictional characters that I probably feel more for than real people. Mr. Spock, the Riddler, Sherlock Holmes, Dracula, especially the one portrayed by Frank Langella. Let's see, Data, Dr. Riversong, Fourth Doctor, 12th Doctor, Professor Snape. And I'm sure some of you are sitting there thinking I'm crazy, but come on. How many guys out there have gone on about the beauty of Marianne over Ginger and how much they would rather sleep with Marianne? Okay, so but yeah, he just made me super uncomfortable. And because of the Carolina Reaper, I was waking up a lot through the night. So finally at 3 in the morning, I just decided I'm going to block this guy. And I did. And immediately I felt a sense of relief. Because up until then, I felt like a prey animal cornered by a whole pack of predators. So, yeah. And I had a guy once tell me that by being on YouTube, I'm asking for attention from strange men. No. I'm on YouTube because I want to entertain people. Sure, I don't know how to edit videos. Sure, they're not the best quality. But if I make one person laugh, or if I make one person say, hey, I really like the way she sings this song, that's what I want to do. I don't want to be on here to get a date. I'm not interested in dating. I'm going to be 42 this year. I'm very set in my ways. I like being single. I can go fishing if I want to. I can go to the movies I want to see without having to compromise. I can read my comic books or my novels, and the one time I was in a relationship, the guy was constantly putting me down. Of course, he got abusive. He threw me into walls and stuff. So yeah, there was that. It was very scary. That's why I really hate things like Twilight and 50 Shades of Grey, because those are novels of abuse. But yeah, so, and granted, some of the discomfort comes from being called beautiful and gorgeous when I'm used to being called ugly. All right, most people call me ugly. Of course, right now, honestly, the majority of people calling me ugly are anti-vaxxers. So take that as you will. I've riled up the anti-vaxxer community. Uh, and the anti-GMO community, which tend to be one and the same. I have yet to meet somebody who's anti-vax who isn't also anti-GMO, which goes to show you, you should be pro-GMO simply because the anti-vaxxers are against GMOs. So you know GMOs must be safe because the anti-vaxxers are completely wrong about vaccines. So by that logic, that means they're completely wrong about GMOs too. Plus, if you do if you do real research and look at real scientific articles, you'll find that organic is actually worse for the environment because they use highly toxic pesticides like copper sulfate, and they use 3 times more land and a lot more water, and yet produce fewer crops. So GMOs, less pesticides, less land, less water, more crops, more nutrition. I mean, so yeah, right now, that's beside the point. Yeah, I'm so used to being called ugly that it does make me uncomfortable when somebody says I'm pretty or whatever. But when it's a guy that's constantly calling me that, constantly saying that, and not saying Jamie, that's what it really, really creeps me out. Guys, don't do that to a woman. Don't do that to a man. Don't do that to anybody, okay? We're not objects. Call a person by their name. Compliment them once in a while, sure, but don't sit there and insist on calling them beautiful and gorgeous and not their name. All right? So that's the only real thing I regret about the Peppers is the fact that it got that guy bothering me, and I pray to God it never happens again. Um, Hopefully for him, once he realized I blocked him, he's learned his lesson and he won't do that to another woman, but I sincerely doubt that. Yeah, it was just really creepy. And I really didn't like it. And this has gone far longer than I wanted. So I'm going to call it quits, but yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I'm just going on and on about that, but he just made me so uncomfortable. And that's the only thing about the Peppers I really regret is that it got his attention. I would have much rather gotten the attention of a hot sauce company. Thank you.